Hello everyone and welcome. This is Martin speaking. In this episode, we will discuss three very important topics. From Cold War to hot topic. U.S. Committee Chair labels Russia-China alliance as most alarming threat since World War II. Russia's Armageddon arsenal. The activation of the 208-ton RS-28 missile could erase France or Texas off the map. Sanctions strike. U.S. targets North Korean and Russian entities for aiding Pyongyang's ballistic ambitions. Topic number 1. The chairman of the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee, Representative Michael McCaul, expressed his concerns about a potential alliance between Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin. McCaul believes that such an alliance poses a significant challenge to the free world in the ongoing great power competition. He further emphasized that Europe and the Pacific region have not faced a threat of this magnitude since World War II. The Joe Biden administration has already warned China of possible consequences if it supports Russia's military actions in Ukraine, although the specifics of these consequences remain undisclosed. According to a U.S. intelligence report, there is a possibility that China provided military equipment to Ukraine with potential military applications, as indicated by Russian customs data. This dynamic raises concerns about the impact of such Chinese support on the ongoing conflict. China's increased purchases of Russian oil and gas play a significant role in offsetting Russia's lost energy sales caused by reduced purchases from the United States, Europe, and Japan. While China can avoid Western sanctions on its own companies, Washington and its allies are frustrated due to the undermining of economic pressure on Russia. China justifies its rejection of Western trade and financial sanctions against Russia by citing the lack of authorization from the United Nations Security Council, where both China and Russia hold veto power. However, it seems that China has managed to avoid direct defiance of these sanctions. McCaul also shared his expectation that Sweden will become a member of NATO by October. Sweden, along with neighboring Finland, has applied for NATO membership. However, approval from all existing members is required for new entries, and currently, Turkey and Hungary have not given the green light to Sweden's accession. In contrast, Finland, with its significant border with Russia, became the 31st member of NATO in April. McCaul believes that with both Finland and Sweden as NATO members, the alliance will become stronger and more united, countering the weakening and dividing intentions Putin may have had. In addition to Sweden, the U.S. delegation plans to visit the Netherlands to meet with Dutch government officials and parliament members. This trip aims to strengthen ties with strategic allies, discuss support for NATO and Ukraine, explore ways to hold Russia accountable for its actions in Ukraine, and address shared concerns regarding China. It is important to seek the perspectives of the audience on this topic. What are your thoughts on the potential alliance between China and Russia? Do you believe it poses a significant threat to the free world? Please share your opinions in the comments below. Topic number 2. Russia's Armageddon arsenal. The activation of the 208-ton RS-28 missile could erase France or Texas off the map. Russia has recently operationalized the RS-28 Sarmat Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM, system, a strategic move following President Vladimir Putin's announcement that it would become combat-ready this year. The Sarmat system, developed as a replacement for the R-36M2 Voyevoda ICBM, has been officially launched by Roscosmos, a major Russian state-owned enterprise. The system underwent its inaugural test firing in April 2022. President Putin has previously highlighted the superiority of the Sarmat missile, stating that it surpasses contemporary anti-missile defense methods and remains unmatched globally. This sentiment is shared by many within the Russian government and defense sectors. The Sarmat missile, weighing an impressive 208 tons, is the heaviest missile in the world. Unlike the Yars missile, it can only be deployed from fortified silos due to its substantial size, which is approximately 4 times that of the Yars missile. The commencement of the first Sarmat unit marks a significant milestone, coming 5.5 years after the system was initially announced. President Putin unveiled the Sarmat, along with the Avangard hypersonic glide vehicle and the Voyevoda, in March 2018. The Avangard vehicle, deployed during the missile's terminal phase, offers a means of evading interception and has no comparable counterparts in other countries. The activation of the Sarmat unit has highlighted the widening gap between Russia and the United States in terms of strategic missile forces. The aging Minuteman II missiles, which have undergone minimal modernization efforts since their introduction in the 1970s, form a significant portion of the U.S. ICBM arsenal. This development has raised concerns in the Western world, particularly amid escalating tensions between NATO and Russia, which could potentially lead to a more overt confrontation. NATO's increased military engagement in the Russian-Ukrainian war, including deploying active combat units and sharing satellite intelligence, further contributes to this escalating geopolitical situation. The Sarmat missile system boasts an impressive range of 18,000 kilometers and can carry up to 15 multiple independent reentry vehicles, in contrast to the Yars system's lowered payload capacity of 4 to 6 warheads and shorter range. This difference in capabilities restricts the Yars system's reach towards the American mainland. Furthermore, the destructive capacity of a single Sarmat missile is extensive, as it can cause devastation on a scale exceeding that of France or Texas, underscoring the formidable power of this weapon system and its destructive potential. In conclusion, Russia's activation of the RS-28 Sarmat missile system represents a significant development in its strategic military capabilities. The Sarmat's advanced features and capabilities have widened the gap between Russia and the United States in terms of missile technology. This development occurs amidst mounting concerns in the Western world due to the escalating tensions between NATO and Russia. The deployment of the Sarmat system raises questions about the future trajectory of international relations and potential security threats. It is crucial to consider the implications of such advancements and to engage in open discussion and dialogue to foster a better understanding of the topic. What are your thoughts on this matter? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section below. Topic number 3. Sanctions strike. U.S. targets North Korean and Russian entities for aiding Pyongyang's ballistic ambitions. The United States has implemented sanctions on individuals and a company accused of providing support to North Korea's ballistic missile program. This action comes as a response to North Korea's unsuccessful launch of a spy satellite. The U.S. Treasury imposed sanctions on 2 men, John Jin-Yong and Sergei Kozlov, along with a Moscow-registered firm called Intellect LLC. It is alleged that John and Kozlov were involved in coordinating the use of North Korean construction workers in Russia, thereby supporting North Korean organizations linked to the development of weapons prohibited by UN Security Council resolutions. According to the Treasury, John led a team of North Korean IT workers in Russia and collaborated with Russians to obtain identity documents for these workers. Some of these documents were obtained from family members or Russian employees of Kozlov. Intellect LLC, which is owned or controlled by Kozlov, has been associated with a construction project in Moscow coordinated by John. These sanctions were implemented in collaboration with the governments of South Korea and Japan. Brian E. Nelson, the Treasury's Undersecretary of Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, stated that the U.S. will continue to work closely with both countries to address the unlawful and destructive activities of North Korea. The Biden administration has expressed its belief that Russia has been increasingly relying on North Korea and Iran to acquire arms for its conflict against Ukraine. Earlier this year, it was reported that Russia offered North Korea food in exchange for munitions. North Korea's attempts to launch a spy satellite into orbit have been unsuccessful on 2 occasions in recent months. Despite these failures, the country's National Aerospace Development Administration has announced plans for a 3rd launch attempt in October. UN Security Council resolutions prohibit North Korea from conducting any launches involving ballistic technologies. It is important to consider the broader implications of these actions and their impact on regional dynamics. The U.S. sanctions serve as a response to North Korea's continued pursuit of prohibited weapons capabilities and its defiance of UN resolutions. Furthermore, the alleged involvement of Russian individuals and entities raises concerns about the relationship between Russia, North Korea, and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Given the complexity of these geopolitical issues, it is crucial to foster a discussion that encourages diverse perspectives. What are your thoughts on the topic? Please feel free to share your opinions and insights in the comments section below.